Not long ago, a lot of people thought Rachel Reeves might not be Chancellor by party conference. This speech was about proving them very wrong, as well as serving as a sort of best bits from Labour's first year.
We've turned our backs on the path of decline, and we've chosen investment. For jobs and for pay, for energy independence and for our national security, we chose investment.
And in case you missed it, it was also about reminding people of Labour's record as the party of investment, of building. And, says the Chancellor, one of the biggest risks for that economic building project would be a reform government.
Well, we recognise that we are strongest when we work together towards that better Britain. A patriotism not measured in how quick you are to exclude, how loudly you shout, how willing you are to exploit every division and distort every challenge that we face, but a patriotism measured in our obstinate determination, our impatience, our commitment to building a better, fairer, more prosperous Britain. That is our patriotic mission.
Now, in practice, there wasn't much actual new policy in this speech. Instead, it was a tightly controlled set piece, part of a tightly controlled event. Our conference speeches are not always about new policies and rabbits out of a hat. This one certainly wasn't. But they are sometimes about something else, about shifting public opinion, about leadership. And the critique a lot of people here have is, so far this Labour government has been less about leading and more about reacting. Still, business seemed pretty happy with the Chancellor's big speech.
Powerful examples around shipbuilding, about steel making, about the quality of jobs. And in previous governments, we never had chancellors speaking about manufacturing.
So you're happy?
I think that's going to send a very strong signal.
All eyes will be on the budget, and I think what business wants to see there is the overall tax burden on business is already at decades high. We really need to make sure it doesn't increase further.
Back in the real world, a few hundred yards outside the conference, the impact of last year's national insurance hikes are still being felt.
So if you look at our payroll in March, so you looked at it in April, it was 10 grand more in April than it was in March, just on the national insurance. So, of course, we had to put prices up. There's a limit to how much we can do that, right? So, in the end, we've taken a cut to our bottom line, which can only go on so long because we've been doing that quite a lot for the last couple of years.
But is the government cooking up more tax rises? Because for all that this is a tightly controlled event, there is one thing Rachel Reeves doesn't control: the official estimate of the black hole in the public finances. That's due on Friday, and it might force the government to raise taxes, possibly even the ones Labour promised not to raise.
And when the Chancellor is in a position to make decisions, which she will be in the coming weeks, she will make those decisions and then she'll tell the country at budget in the normal way.
So basically you cannot rule out raising VAT or income tax, for example, now?
I'm not ruling anything out or anything in. All I'm saying is today the manifesto stands, we've got a budget process to go through.
In practice, everyone has a view on which taxes should be going up. Expect plenty more lobbying, positioning and noise in the coming months. Ed Conway, Sky News in Liverpool.